Imagine you're stranded in a freezing blizzard. The wind is howling, the temperature is well below zero, and you are starting to panic. Your fingers are numb, your teeth are chattering violently, and you can feel your core temperature dropping. You reach into your bag and pull out a flask of whiskey. You take a long, deep swig. Almost immediately, a rush of warmth floods your cheeks. The tightness in your chest relaxes. You stop shivering. You feel safe. You feel warm. But here is the terrifying reality. That specific feeling of warmth, that is the exact moment you started dying. We have been told for centuries that alcohol is liquid courage or a winter coat in a bottle. We see it in movies, cartoons, and old survival guides. But biologically, alcohol is a master manipulator. It tricks your brain into thinking you are overheating while simultaneously shutting down your body's only defense against the cold. This biological lie is so convincing that rescue teams often find frozen bodies in the snow, completely naked. They didn't freeze because they had no clothes. They took their clothes off because the alcohol convinced them they were burning up. Today, we are going to debunk the most dangerous survival myth in history and explain why drinking to stay warm is actually a death sentence. To understand why that sip of brandy is so dangerous, we first have to understand how your body handles the cold when you are sober. Think of your human body like a house in the middle of winter. Your internal organs, your heart, lungs, and liver, are the people living inside. Your skin is the windows and the walls. When you step outside into the freezing cold, your body initiates a survival protocol called vasoconstriction. Basically, your brain realizes the heat is escaping, so it shuts the windows. It tightens your blood vessels in your hands, your feet, and your skin to force the warm blood deep into your core. This is why your fingers turn white and numb when you forget your gloves. Your body is making a calculated sacrifice. It is cutting off circulation to the extremities to keep your heart and brain alive. It's a brilliant evolutionary tactic that has kept humans alive during ice ages. But then you introduce alcohol. Alcohol is a potent vasodilator. This means it forces your blood vessels to relax and widen. Remember those windows your brain shut to keep the heat in? Alcohol walks around the house and kicks every single window wide open. Suddenly, all that warm, precious blood that was protecting your heart and lungs rushes to the surface of your skin. This is where the deception happens, and it is arguably the cruelest trick your biology can play on you. You see, humans are actually terrible at judging their own internal temperature. We're only good at judging the difference between our skin and the air. When alcohol rushes warm blood to your skin, your nerve endings scream, "We are hot, we are warm." You feel a flush in your cheeks. You feel comfortable. You might even unbutton your coat because you genuinely feel like the temperature has gone up. But this warmth is borrowed time. You are literally venting your body heat into the freezing atmosphere. You aren't warming up. You are acting like a radiator. You are taking the heat from your engine, your heart, and radiating it out into the cold air. The result is catastrophic. Your core temperature drops much, much faster than if you hadn't had a drink at all. You feel like you're sitting by a fireplace, but your internal organs are freezing. But it gets worse. Your body has a second line of defense, shivering. We often think of shivering as just an annoying side effect of being cold, but it is actually a mechanical function. Your muscles vibrate rapidly to generate friction and heat. It's your body's emergency generator. Alcohol acts as a muscle relaxant and a depressant to the central nervous system. If you drink enough, you actually suppress the shivering reflex. You turn off the emergency generator. So let's recap the situation you've put yourself in. First, you've moved all your heat to the surface where it's lost to the wind. Second, you've tricked your brain into feeling warm so you don't seek shelter. And third, you've turned off your body's ability to generate new heat. You have effectively dismantled every single survival mechanism millions of years of evolution gave you. This leads us to one of the most disturbing phenomena in forensic science, something known as paradoxical undressing.
In the final stages of severe hypothermia, right before death, the muscles that control your blood vessels become exhausted. They have been clenched tight for hours, trying to save your life, but eventually they fail. When they fail, a final surge of hot blood rushes from the core to the extremities. The person who is moments away from freezing to death is suddenly hit with a wave of excruciating heat. They feel like they are burning alive. In their delirium, they rip off their jackets, their gloves, and their boots. Search and rescue teams often find victims buried in the snow, semi-naked, with their clothes folded neatly beside them. Now imagine adding alcohol to this mix. You accelerate this process. You confuse the brain earlier. You reach this point of no return while still thinking you are having a good time. Alcohol blurs the line between feeling cozy and literally shutting down. So if alcohol is so deadly in the cold, where did this idea come from? Why do we have this image of the St. Bernard dog? You know the one, the heroic dog trekking through the Swiss Alps with a barrel of brandy around its neck to save stranded travelers? It's a great story, it's a classic image, but it is 100% a myth. The monks of the Great St. Bernard Hospice in Switzerland have been using these dogs for rescues since the 17th century, but they never carried barrels. The barrel was purely an artistic invention by a painter named Edwin Landseer in 1820. He was painting a portrait of the dogs and thought the barrel added visual interest to the canvas. The public loved the painting, and the myth became fact. The monks actually deny this ever happened. In fact, they know that giving a hypothermic patient brandy would likely kill them on the spot. When someone is that cold, their heart is fragile. A sudden intake of alcohol can cause blood pressure to bottom out, leading to immediate cardiac arrest. So the next time you see that cartoon dog, remember, he's not a savior, he's a distinct health hazard. This brings us to the practical question. If you are actually out in the cold, maybe you're camping, at a football game, or stuck in your car during a storm, and you want to stay warm, what should you actually drink? If alcohol is the enemy, sugar is your friend. Your body needs fuel to run the furnace. Alcohol is empty calories that don't provide sustainable energy. What you need are warm, sugary liquids, hot chocolate, sweetened tea, or even warm water with Jell-O powder. The heat of the liquid warms you from the inside, but more importantly, the sugar gives your body immediate caloric energy to burn for heat. It refuels the shivering reflex. You also need hydration. The cold air is incredibly dry and sucks moisture from your body with every breath. Alcohol dehydrates you further, which thickens your blood and makes it harder for your heart to pump warm blood around. Water keeps your blood volume up, allowing your circulation to function correctly. Alcohol in the cold is a double-edged sword. If you are safely indoors, sitting by a fire at a ski lodge, sure, have that hot toddy. It flushes your skin and makes you feel cozy because you are in a warm environment. It's harmless in that context. But if you are outside fighting the elements, relying on alcohol to keep you warm is physically impossible. It is a biological Trojan horse. It opens the gates, lets the cold in, and convinces you to smile while you freeze. So next time you're braving the winter chill, swap the flask for a thermos. It might not look as cool in a movie, but it will keep you alive to watch the ending. Stay warm and stay smart.